The investigation into Red Bull Racing's team boss, Christian Horner, has sparked speculation. Rumors are flying, suggesting discussions between Jos Verstappen and Mercedes bigwig Toto Wolff. The surprise? Max Verstappen might be considering a switch from Red Bull to Mercedes. Imagine the twists and turns this could bring to the F1 scene. It's like a chess match on the racetrack. Curious to unravel the details? Well, buckle up, because today, in this video, we're diving into the heart of this gripping story to uncover what's going on. During the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend, Jos Verstappen had a heated discussion with Red Bull team boss Christian Horner and later chose to refrain from commenting further on the situation. After the race, Jos Verstappen was seen conversing with Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff. Wolff's remarks not ruling out the possibility of bringing Max Verstappen to Mercedes if Lewis Hamilton were to leave added to the speculation. However, Wolff emphasized that F1 drivers always prioritize the fastest car and that their conversation was merely to congratulate Jos on his son's victory. The meeting between Verstappen Sr. and Wolff was noteworthy because the two camps reportedly hadn't spoken since the incidents at Silverstone in 2021. It appears that now Verstappen Sr. and Wolff have reconciled, although it's unclear if Max Verstappen shares the same sentiment. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko suggested that Wolff might attempt to lure Max away, but he also noted that Max may not easily forget the events of 2021. Verstappen willing to swap Red Bull for Mercedes. According to The Telegraph, a potential move to Mercedes remains a possibility for Max Verstappen. Reports suggest that Verstappen and Wolff converse at the paddock and reportedly stayed at the same hotel, the Four Seasons, where another discussion allegedly occurred. The British outlet further claims that Jos Verstappen has even confided in friends, stating that his son will depart from Red Bull if required. What did Max Verstappen have to say? In Saudi Arabia, Max Verstappen addressed the media on Wednesday, downplaying any personal unease he might have regarding the situation at Red Bull. He expressed his reluctance to involve himself too deeply in the team's internal politics. When asked about seeing out his Red Bull contract, which extends until 2028, Verstappen stated, "That has always been the intention since signing. We committed for a long period. Of course, it depends on the car's performance, and from 2026 onward, there's some uncertainty with new regulations. However, when I signed my contract, I knew what they had done for me in my career. I intend to stay with this team because I enjoy it and am happy with the team. As long as we perform, there's no reason to leave." While Mercedes is keen on securing Verstappen, they acknowledge that his decision will likely hinge on choosing the best performing car, which Red Bull currently provides. Interestingly, Verstappen mentioned that he cannot completely rule out the possibility of ever joining Mercedes. "I think no one could have predicted or anticipated that Lewis would move to Ferrari," Verstappen remarked. "In life, you never know what might happen or influence you. So, you can never say for sure what the future holds. That's how I approach life. However, I try not to dwell on it too much. I'm quite relaxed. I'm happy with the team, the performance is good, and there's no reason to consider leaving." Verstappen recently spent time in Dubai with his father Jos and manager Raymond Vermeulen, so he's well informed about the latest developments following the turbulent Bahrain Grand Prix weekend. Despite his father's strong remarks, Verstappen maintains that getting involved or taking sides is not his place. When asked if he agreed with his father's view that Red Bull could face turmoil if Horner remained, Verstappen responded, "I don't know, I hope not, it shouldn't be. It's a strong company and team with many capable members, so hopefully not." Despite being aware of the controversy stirred by his father's remarks, Max Verstappen chose not to dwell on them excessively. "We function as a team. It's me, my dad and Raymond together," he explained. "That dynamic will always remain the same. I suppose he might have felt that way, but from my perspective, I don't see it as being on one side or the other. Naturally, as my dad's son, being on a different side would feel strange. However, my focus is solely on the performance aspect. I prefer less discussion about team matters off the track and more focus on our actual performance on the track." Verstappen emphasized his focus on driving, stating, "I'm just concentrating on driving, and I believe that's the most important thing for the team right now. Our main goal is to avoid distractions from race to race because it's not beneficial for the team." However, Verstappen didn't rule out the possibility when asked if there was a scenario where he wouldn't race with Red Bull next season. "Things would have to go really crazy, I suppose, but that's not the goal for anyone," he said. What happened to put Verstappen's long-term future at Red Bull in doubt? Following his first World Championship victory in the dramatic and controversial 2021 season finale in Abu Dhabi, Verstappen committed to Red Bull for the long term, signing an extension until the 2028 season. His annual salary is reported to be around $50 million. This move signified Verstappen's intention to remain with Red Bull for the foreseeable future. However, recent rumors surrounding Verstappen's future point to a division unfolding behind the scenes at the reigning world champions. In one faction, there's Helmut Marko, Red Bull's long-standing motorsport advisor. Marko, 80, has played a pivotal role in Verstappen's rapid rise since the Dutchman's debut at the age of 17 in 2015. Marko enjoys a close relationship with both Max and his father, Jos. On the other side of the divide is Christian Horner, Red Bull Racing's team principal and chief executive, who has been the team's sole figurehead since its establishment 19 years ago. Recent weeks have shed light on internal tensions due to an investigation into Horner's conduct. What's particularly significant in the past 48 hours is the revelation of a break clause in Verstappen's contract, allowing him to depart from Red Bull if Marko also were to leave. When asked about this, Marko stated, "As far as I'm concerned, I will not stand in the way of Max." What Toto Wolff says about Max Verstappen. Speaking with Sky Sports F1 before the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Wolff remarked, "The market is very interesting. For a driver, the most crucial aspect is to be with the fastest team, and currently, there's no compelling reason for Max to leave Red Bull anytime soon. However, we'll have to wait and see what unfolds." The speculation surrounding Verstappen's future at Red Bull has intensified due to reports of an exit clause in his contract, which is activated if his close advisor, Helmut Marko, leaves the team. This clause adds uncertainty to Verstappen's commitments, particularly given the recent controversies involving team principal Christian Horner. Why would Verstappen move away from Red Bull? Leaving Red Bull would mean leaving behind guaranteed race victories and championship titles. Verstappen has consistently expressed his desire to drive for the team with the best chance of winning. That team is Red Bull for the foreseeable future, especially for this year and likely 2025. However, the competitive landscape could shift in 2026 with the introduction of new engine regulations. There's also the question of Verstappen's overall F1 career trajectory. Does he aspire to be associated with just one team throughout his career? Jim Clark, who raced for Lotus from 1960 to 1967, is the only World Championship-winning driver to have been solely associated with one team. History in Formula One suggests that star drivers like Lewis Hamilton are often drawn to the allure and prestige of switching teams. Although Verstappen technically started his F1 career with Red Bull's sister team, Toro Rosso, there may come a point where he feels compelled to explore opportunities with traditional powerhouses of the sport, such as Ferrari, Mercedes, or McLaren. Would Mercedes want Verstappen? Verstappen has demonstrated in the last 3 years that he possesses exceptional talent and speed behind the wheel, maturity, and racecraft. His recent track record is astounding, with 21 wins in the last 24 F1 races. Looking ahead to next year, Mercedes has a vacant seat with Hamilton's move to Ferrari. While George Russell is set to fill one seat, it might be too soon for their rising star Kimi Antonelli to step up. Short-term deals with drivers like Fernando Alonso, Alex Albon, and Carlos Sainz have also been discussed. However, the most shocking move would undoubtedly be Verstappen joining Mercedes. It would be a monumental signing. The likelihood of a Verstappen-Mercedes transfer in 2025 currently appears highly improbable and remains a speculative link. Despite potential internal team dynamics at Red Bull, the team's current dominance suggests they're unlikely to loosen their grip on the World Championship, especially with Adrian Newey's technical prowess contributing to their success in the ground effect era of F1 cars. So what do you think of the bombshell by Verstappen on leaving Red Bull for Mercedes? Comment below and subscribe for more.